So the thing you want to watch is not the periphery, but the core. That is the critical industries: aviation, transportation more broadly, energy, and medicine. And there's a problem in the medical profession. For some reason, medical schools and hospitals have become convinced that the appearance of your doctor is the most important thing. You can judge a book by its cover. And CNN, of course, is pushing it hard. Watch.
Right now, fewer than 6% of doctors in the U.S. identify as Black or African American. That's despite the fact that the community makes up 12% of the country's total population, and that's raising concerns about the impact on public health.
Research shows that when we have a more diverse physician workforce, there's more understanding and more trust between the patient and the doctor. The doctor has an understanding of the patient's cultural experiences, cultural background, lived experiences, especially when it comes to racism or discrimination or other aspects of their life. That can help with that physician-patient relationship.
It's super simple. If there was ever a place where we need a pure meritocracy, the most qualified people get the jobs, it's in medicine. Most doctors believe that, very few are willing to say it. Dr. Marilyn Singleton is one of them. She's got a piece in the Washington Post called "I'm a Black Physician and I'm Appalled by Mandated Implicit Bias Training." And we are happy to have her join us tonight, Dr. Marilyn Singleton. Doctor, thank you so much for coming on. You've practiced medicine for a long time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, well, we're delighted to have you. What have you noticed that has changed in your profession in medicine recently, and why are you concerned about it?
Well, I'm concerned. One, I grew up in a time when there was segregation, and we moved from Black people having to go to Black universities to where it was completely open, and I was able to go to top-tier universities where my parents didn't necessarily do that. And then when I went to medical school, diversity meant groups of different people all over the country, different backgrounds and whatnot. All we wanted to do was get good grades and be the best doctor that we possibly could and take the best care of patients. Suddenly, we fast forward now, and we don't even hear about getting good grades. All we hear about is, oh, a Black patient should have a Black doctor. Well, that is so wrong. A Black patient should have a good doctor, and that's what all patients want, and certainly Black patients don't want that. And you believe me, if you get rolled into an emergency room, you don't want a patient having to look up at that doctor sideways and think, is this one of those evil white devils? Or is this a good doctor who's going to take care of my stab wound to the abdomen? And this is so wrong, and it's being pushed on people. And I don't like the demonization of my colleagues that I've worked with for years, saved patients' lives with, had them come to me for advice on how to do something. And suddenly I'm not supposed to trust them. They're not supposed to trust me. Am I suddenly a stupid Black person? It's completely flipped on its head. There was a time when Black people were considered not up to the task, to the job, and couldn't be professionals, couldn't be doctors. And we're smart, we're just like anybody else. And suddenly, white doctors are the ones that have the evil aura around them. And we expect Black patients to then want to trust that doctor, and it's hokum that Black patient needs a Black doctor. Number one, it could never happen. There aren't enough doctors. How could you match these people up? What happens when you go into an emergency? And I honestly, as an anesthesiologist, I've done plenty of emergencies. I've been a doctor for, I hate to say, 50 years now. And patients look at you, and years ago, all they wondered, are you old enough to know how to do this? And they wondered about your competence. And this is wrong, having so much focus on race and bringing back the kind of focus that we fought for so many years to be gone, to look at people as individuals and their talents, their personality, their compassion, and they're wiping it away, and it's just wrong. It's criminal.
Why are you one of such a tiny minority of practicing physicians willing to say that?
Well, I think it's like so many times, and I'm sure you've been in these meetings where everybody's thinking the same thing, but nobody wants to say it out loud. And part of it is what's happening in medicine all over, that we now have private practice, only 47% of physicians. And so you're looking at 53% of physicians are employed or they work for one of these big health systems. They're afraid. They're afraid to lose their jobs. And it's kind of hard to blame them. When you're in private practice and you're taking care of your own patients for your own self, you know, you can say what you want. And your patients, when they love you, they love you. And they don't care what color you are. They're just
That's
glad
right.
that you give them good treatment.
Bless you for saying that. I mean, it sounds obvious, but when you're one of the only people willing to say it, we're really grateful for your willingness to do that. Dr. Marilyn Singleton, appreciate it.
Thank you.